Sharon feels a strange unease during her psychotherapy. She cannot shake the feeling that something is wrong. Inside the therapy room, when facing Alan, an experienced psychotherapist, she begins to fear that the truth may be revealed. The terrible secrets from her past that she has kept hidden for so long begin to explode in her mind, like a bomb waiting to explode. Sharon knows that once she confesses, things will never be the same again. Alan, or rather, the person everyone thinks is Alan, begins to suspect what Sharon is hiding. As Sharon falls into a state of mental instability, she accidentally reveals the cruel actions she has committed, including the mysterious death of Heather. But this story does not end there. Clues about Alan's own identity also begin to emerge, raising questions about whether he is really Alan or his twisted twin brother Martin, who everyone believes died after falling from a balcony years ago. When Alan first returns to town and meets everyone again, there are a few things that make people around him suspicious of him. One of them is when Alan cannot remember basic details about the Abbott mansion, a place he grew up and is familiar with. This raises doubts about whether he is really Alan or whether Martin is impersonating his brother. Perhaps, the fall from the balcony that year did not kill Martin as everyone thought, but he simply switched identities with Alan through a simple change of clothes. If so, the truth about Martin and this swap of fates may be the key to all the mysteries. In another scenario, Sharon's friend Tracy introduced her to Alan, believing that he could help Sharon with her psychological treatment. Alan was impressed with Sharon's knowledge and education. He saw that she had a lot of potential, especially when Sharon shared about her work in the field of psychological counseling. Therefore, Alan asked Sharon to help him with a complex psychological research topic that he was working on, as well as writing a book. Initially, Sharon was a bit hesitant because of her busy work schedule, but she eventually agreed to help Alan, even though she began to feel the pressure from this request. Martin's dangerous plan and conspiracy. Things became more complicated when Sharon began to feel that something was wrong with Alan. The initial signs may have been just Sharon's psychological anxiety, but as she progressed further in the treatment process, she began to feel that she was falling into a mental trap. If Alan really is Martin, then all he did was fool Sharon, to see if he could manipulate a psychologist like her. Martin, if that is his true identity, gradually realizes that Sharon would be the perfect subject for his psychological experiments. He begins to sense that there is a strange connection between them, at least in Sharon's unstable mental state. Sharon's mental breakdown becomes a golden opportunity for Martin to delve into the dark corners of her mind, to discover the things she is trying to hide, including Heather's death. If Sharon makes any mistakes in this process, it will be Martin's turn to exploit them. She might accidentally reveal details about Heather's death, and then Martin, or Alan, will not hesitate to use this to manipulate Sharon. He could convince her that what she did was right, that she was acting under the direction of Cameron Kirsten, a mysterious name that had appeared in Sharon's mind. Martin could create the feeling that Sharon was innocent, and this would help her continue down the path of crime she had begun. What's more frightening is that Martin doesn't just stop at manipulating Sharon psychologically, but may also develop an obsession with her. She becomes the perfect test subject, but also the object of his desire. If Martin really starts to fall for Sharon, the story becomes even more complicated and dangerous. He may try to protect her, help her out of trouble, or on the contrary, drag her deeper into the spiral of guilt and madness. While everyone around him believes Alan is a dedicated therapist, the truth behind his identity remains a great mystery. If the truth about Martin is finally revealed, everything that has happened will be a huge shock to everyone. Martin is not only an imposter, but also a psychological pervert who has taken every opportunity to manipulate Sharon and lead her down a dark path. With complex psychological plots, dramatic identity swaps, and overlapping relationships, the story between Sharon, Alan and Martin will continue to develop in many unexpected directions. Subscribe to Yonder to update the latest news on the channel.